Good morning, I'm Tom. This is Dexter. Decided he's gonna get on top of me. I guess he's hungry. It's about 19 degrees. Why do farmers always talk about what the temperature is where they are? That's a good question. Does anybody really care? I don't know. Goose, there you are. Ready for breakfast? Breakfast? I put out a round bale about every 7 days, and it may last 7 days, it may last 4 or 5, but it's been cold, so they ate it, and I still got 3 days left to go, so I've got some squares I want to throw out there, and so we're going to put out 2. I gotta run up in the loft and grab some more hay. You're in my way, Dexter. I'm gonna throw down the oldest hay first, which is over here. Chickens get about 12 pounds of grain a day. Fed just in the morning, and they'll have this finished by nighttime. I might throw a little bit of scratch out, but the chickens are free range, so they're gonna go out there and clean up whatever mess the cows left. If I had to tell you one of my top #1 tools for winter, it would be this flex hose here. I got it on Amazon, and I'll put a link to it down in the comments. First place I go with it is up to the ducks and geese. It's kind of windy out today, so it's been taking my breath away. They're very loud, very noisy, but we put them in the apple orchard with a shock or not system in the summer, and we had absolutely none of those Japanese beetles on our fruit trees. So right now they're just looking for some water, so we're gonna get that done. So we're gonna give them a little bit of corn this morning because it's really cold out and they could use the energy. When I first moved here We used to keep the sheep in all winter, so the entire right side of the barn was full of sheep. And then we got cows, so we had the whole really crammed in. I had cows and sheep and everybody in the barn, and we bought a ton of these buckets, and they work really well, but they're electric, so it drove my electric bill through the roof. And I'm not sure if it was because I was afraid of my fencing. I'm not sure if it was because I was afraid of predators, but the animals were inside all winter, and so we were always cleaning out stalls and hauling water. And when I met my wife, she thought the animals should all be outside with a run-in, and to be honest, I was incredulous at the thought. Last winter was the first winter that we put the animals out all winter, and lo and behold, they're all fine. I have the summer pastures closed off, so the animals don't have access to those. They're just pretty much out behind the barn here. But Luna, one of our sheep, she did have a baby, and when the other ones have babies, I'll bring them in, just so I can keep an eye on the babies. Well, that was cute. I just have this one heated bucket I'm using for Luna, and then I've got the one heated bucket for the chickens, and that's it. Instead of about, I think I had 11 altogether. So we're not hauling bucket after bucket of water anymore. So the trick with this hose when you put it away is you leave it on, shut off the hydrant, and then the hose will shrink. Then you go ahead and disconnect it from the spigot. Now I work my way towards the end, and it's hard to do holding a camera, but what's happening when I do it this way is all the water is draining out towards this end, and then when you're done, you connect both ends of it together, and you won't have any kinks or knots, etc. If you don't do that, you may be lucky, but every time I've done it, I've had a knot. So every time I've connected the ends, I haven't had a problem. So earlier I'd mentioned we only had one of these buckets, and that's actually not true. Most of them are in storage, but I do have this pet bowl here that we keep heated for the cats, and obviously this chicken thinks she's a cat. I have one up there for the ducks and geese. There's the heated donut in the trough for the cows, so we have a grand total of 5. So 5 heated bowls or buckets, as I should have said. And so it's just one of these things that you have to think about when winter comes, is you either bust the ice out of all your buckets or you heat them. And I've just found for convenience, it's easier to heat the buckets. That's a wrap for today. Please consider liking and subscribing to our page. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.